Okay, we're here with our friend John Osborne. John, tell us what you do on a regular basis. I'm not going to ask you for a title because that gets complicated. Apparently, we've asked that several times to a number of people. So what do you do on the day-to-day?
Yeah, so day starts out typically just looking at like activity levels and CRM, going into vAuto, seeing activity on VDP, SRPs, using like Outsell, looking at one of our vendors that does all of our search engine, our SEM, seeing what our activity on our website is, conversions on that, all of that, and then just walking around and talking with the team. And it's a little bit unique right now because I live in Maryland, and I'm driving to one of our stores in Williamsburg, Virginia.
It's a Carter CMA, right?
CMA, yep. Working for Liza. It's been awesome. So anyway, so I'm not there every day. I'm there a couple days a week, and sometimes, I'm doing a Zoom call or a FaceTime call with the general manager there, and we're just kind of like going through different questions and some different things. And it's actually pushing me really well right now because it's out of what I've normally done in the past, where I'm there, every day of the week.
Yeah. So it's pushing you in what way?
Just really empowerment. That's actually my one word for this year. Is
everybody's got a word.
Everybody's got a word.
It's empowerment, and it's good.
Can you?
It's really good.
There are words in our industry and in business that get thrown around a lot. Empowerment is one of those words.
Yeah.
When you think about the team that's around you and the practical steps it takes to empower them, what are some of the things that make most sense for you to do on a day-to-day basis for them to feel empowered to take the steps that they need to?
Yeah, I think questions like, well, what do you think we need to do? What do you think we should do? I think people just need to.
You don't even have to answer past that.
Yeah.
That's like good enough. Like in my opinion, it's like, what do you think we should do? And then, but I think it's actually probably, I'm guessing what the next step is not what do you think we should do and then run another way. Yeah. It's what do you think we should do? And sounds like you're the authority on that. Let's move, or let's talk through how we get there, right?
I think it's two steps because you do want to have, you talk about sometimes there's like trust and to build that trust. If someone's new into a role or they haven't been in that type of environment. Sure. So you got to kind of help just give some kind of, you've done it before, you've made all the mistakes and just like, hey, here's how I've done it. But then when you get to a level of like basic competency, you got to let them, and I know for myself, the best way to learn is to make a few mistakes and all right. And so I do think it's important to not just completely give like, hey, what do you think we should do? Yep. But once there's trust on both ways that both people know that like you care deeply for each other, and it's okay if you make a mistake.
Yeah.
Then it's okay to be like, and then maybe like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? I'm like, sounds awesome. Let's go.
That's so cool.
That's so cool. Or you can always adjust. If it's not perfect, just move forward and make some adjustments.
So you said your word's empowerment. Obviously, you have some goals for 2024. If you're that focused and you have a word, what would you like to see? Where would you like to move the needle by the end of 2024? What's your focus this year?
Well, I mean, selfishly, I want Lexington Park Honda open. I'd like us to break ground in the next week or two. Greg Lyons, if you're paying attention, get us with that.
Perfect.
But
he's like, I just need someone to break ground, guys.
That's exactly.
There's not anything bigger on my.
That's fine. That's okay.
Long term, that's a big thing, but it's out of my control. That's out of all of our. It's waiting for permits and stuff. So really, it's like the controllables and the uncontrollables. I
like it how when something's waiting for a permit from the government, everybody just assumes it's out of everyone's control.
Everyone's control.
But there's one person in an office somewhere; it's fully in their control.
Yeah,
and they're proud of it.
And they
too.
don't.
It's like going to a DMV.
Yeah.
It's like the sloths in that movie.
Yeah. Yes. It's one of my favorite scenes ever. How may I help you?
Now,
today.
Yes. That's amazing.
I think this year, success for me is more of a short-term goal is just the level of competency and what for everyone to know what success feels like, and then build on the momentum of that success. And everyone feeling comfortable, like it's okay to make mistakes and we're going to learn from them and not worry about like tiptoeing around. Just like we're confident when we're going out to talk to a customer that we're going to sell them a car.
Yeah.
And we're confident. We're not worried about things that we don't control. So I think it's mindset. And so that's let's get mindset.
Well, I mean, that's one of the critical, if you're really going to empower people, they can't be terrified of a mistake.
Yeah.
Right? That's the fastest way to get an underperforming team.
Yeah.
Fastest way.
Yeah.
So those two things go together. No surprise, really.
Yeah.
You know, at the Carter Martyrs organization, people are like the center of every conversation, and whether that's employees or customers, and you have a big passion for people, not just in the store, but more broadly. I'd love to for you to share just a minute about your passion for the nations and your passion for serving not just hyper locally with the store, but more broadly.
Yeah, so I guess I'll do it real quickly. I was in the Army right out of high school, and one of my duty stations was Cuba, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, in January of 95 until July of 95. And part of that assignment was we're supposed to guard, protect all the Haitians and the Cubans that were coming up to the U.S. at that time. They were coming on migrant boats. It was really unsafe. People were dying and stuff. The Coast Guard was taking them back to Guantanamo Bay, and there were a lot. I don't know how many tens of thousands, but a lot. So we were down there for 7 months. Ooh. And they were the nicest people ever. I have so many great stories of like all these things we did that were just fun and hilarious and stuff. But anyway, fast forward, I get married after I get out of the Army. My wife and I have 2 biological children. We're like, it's perfect, we're good.
Picket fence.
And we're done. Yeah, we've got this parenting figured out. We should adopt. We've got this parenting thing figured out. And so we adopted from Haiti, which are, man, people that I had no idea 20 years prior that we'd get the privilege of going to Haiti and adopting. So we have two children that are adopted from Haiti. They're 17 and 14 now, and they're awesome. So with that is this a very humbling experience of like, maybe we don't have parenting figured out. It's much different to parent kids that have trauma and stuff. And I think it's given me a lot more compassion for just a lot.
People.
Like just
general,
people and like
compassion, empathy,
there's always,
humility.
My wife would say, and she's taught me, like, there's most of the time there's a reason behind the behavior. And so when a customer or an employee that is totally off their rails, like what's
it's
at
not
the heart,
the thing that triggered them.
What's at the heart of it?
Wow,
and so just trying to figure out like what is, and I don't get that right all the time, but just be like, okay, what's going on? Like we're on the same team, like, or if it's a customer, like, hey, obviously we're not delivering the experience that you're hoping for. How can I help? And just softening it a little bit. So I think my kids have taught me, and my wife, Alicia's taught me a lot. But
I think we're all on the same boat.
But adoption and stuff is so we've got a huge heart for obviously for Haiti and for adoption, and we've just started a small group. We just moved in August from Colorado to Southern Maryland, so we're getting plugged in with church and kids' new school, and we're starting up a small group for adoptive families that may not have support. We've always had it. And we know how important it is to have community around that. So we're starting that up. Sunday night will be our second week. So
wow.
Anyway,
that level of humanity,
snippet.
I love how you tied it into the way that you work with your employees and customers
People.
every day. That it is like the through line of every interaction that we have. So, man, I love sharing a minute with you. Always, I have since the time that I met you at that party at ASOTU Con. Yeah. John, I can't wait to see the store open and you break ground and do those things that are top of mind, man. Thanks for spending some time with us.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, John.
Hey, thanks, guys.